Today I have a question for you. I'm coming to the end of my Gear Ties DIY series, and I wanted to know what series you would like me to do next. I have quite a few ideas on what I want to do. Later on this summer, when the weather gets better and I can get out into my shop, I'm going to do a new series called DIY Marathon, which is this epic DIY. There'll be a lot more involved. It won't be simple projects like, well, some of them are fairly simple, but they're not just like the gear tie ones. I'll be out in the shop building stuff. And my goal with that is to build useful items that you wouldn't be embarrassed to take on set. Most of the stuff that I make is, it looks like something that that you would have bought when you're done. Ideally, not everything will come out that way. Sometimes you have to sacrifice just to make something easier to build. But I have quite a few ideas for projects, and I think they're going to be pretty awesome. But that's later on in a few months. But between now and then, what show should I do? And here are some of the options. And please leave a comment down below of what you would like to see on the channel. These are just some of the options that I've been thinking about here lately. The first one is creating the shot. This is about camera movement and framing, blocking, that kind of stuff. It is moving the camera and the subjects and the frame around in order to tell your story more effectively. And that would be aimed mostly at filmmakers, but content creators might get something pretty good out of it also, but aimed towards filmmakers. The next one is another one that is mostly for filmmakers, but I think this might actually be pretty relevant for a lot of people that are making video content, and it's called Get a Grip. And it's about grip equipment and how to solve simple problems so you can position things the way you want, lights and modifiers and microphones, like anything that you want to position. And this isn't like, here's a grip truck and this is how you use all the professional stuff in the professional way. This is for smaller productions. Say you own some equipment yourself. All the stuff is really versatile, and it might not be the absolute best way to solve the problem, but with a small amount of items, you have a lot of versatility. And these are just tricks on how to use those items in order to do the most things possible to get your camera where you want to get interesting shots. So I think that would probably be pretty good for video content creators and small production companies. The next one has to do with something I think is neglected on many channels, and I would like this to be kind of a core moving forward of what I do here. And it's called Your Creative Life temporarily. I'm not sure if that's what it's going to end up being, but the idea is that a lot of us destroy our creativity, our ability to create and to think creatively and to create our art. We sabotage ourselves. And a lot of times it's because we just don't know what we should be doing in order to really support ourselves in a way that leaves us very creative. Now, I've always thought of myself as a creative person, and when I went through the divorce, some stuff changed. All the stress of just the divorce itself led me to like lose overnight my creativity. I didn't feel like I had it anymore. And even when all that stress was gone, the creativity didn't come back. So I started diving into it. I read a lot of stuff about neuroscience and just tons of books. It's really interesting to me. And I walk around every day seeing people do things that really hamper their ability to think and act creatively. And as part of this, in order to support this creative life, It also has to do with making ourselves better people, being more productive, getting out of our own way. We, as humans, it is just natural for us to second guess ourselves, to put things in the way that keep us from moving forward on the art that we want to create. So I really would like to do that one. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, I know I am. That might be an interesting show. The next show idea is called In Your Shorts, and that is, or looking in your shorts, I think just in your shorts, and it is me looking at your short films and talking about what worked and didn't work, kind of critiquing them, talking about simple things that you could do to make them better and things that you did really well. So that would be a pretty easy thing, I think, to shoot. And that's in your shorts. The next one is aimed more at content creators, specifically YouTube video creators. And that is a show that I started on an airsoft channel that I used to have. Well, I still have it. Does pretty well. And that is called Channel Ambush. And I think this is a better place to do that show. And basically, I ambush someone's channel and I'll look at what they're doing on the channel, kind of like In Your Shorts, but for someone's YouTube channel. And I'll look at some of your content, the way you're writing your titles, descriptions, your channel art, channel trailer, all that stuff that really goes into being a successful YouTuber. I'll just look at all that and give you suggestions, and hopefully as I do that for each channel, the people that are interested in building a YouTube channel will be able to pick out information that's applicable to them, and then maybe they can get their channel dialed in and get ambushed. And the last show that I want to talk about is probably something that I need to push off a little bit and until my channel is more established. And it's called Whatever Wednesday. And I'm really excited about this one. This will be my place to just post whatever I want. Hence the name Whatever Wednesday. And I guess you may have figured out what day I'm thinking about doing that. And this could be just anything that I'm into. I'm a pretty eclectic guy. I'm into lots of stuff. Let's see, what's one thing? I bought a new drift car that we're gonna do a build on, so I might post some stuff about doing, building a simple like drift car and then maybe taking it to the track. Maybe how I videotape that, I'm not too sure. When I start the Whatever Wednesday, I'm gonna try to keep it a little bit connected to the content, not completely off base, but eventually it's gonna be exactly what it stands for. It'll be whatever I want to post because it's my channel. So if any of those apply to you, and then of course there's any kind of tutorial. I have something that my son keeps telling me to shoot, and that is understanding exposures on your camera for the non-technical people. This is a technique I developed when I was teaching photography, and I had this woman who was like a really good photographer, but she wasn't a technical person. She was like an emotional person. So she was like really connected to the people emotionally. She was a great photographer, but had a hard time understanding the technical aspects of it. So I taught using spaghetti. I taught exposure using spaghetti, and it works really well. Everybody I've taught aperture and shutter speed using spaghetti has loved this technique, and they're like, oh, that just makes so much sense. It's so clear. That might be something I might have to do pretty soon. All right, love y'all. I will see you in the comments. Bye.